got. Pop up, it's showtime. Showtime. Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know y'all. Oh, they don't know y'all. I bet they know as soon as we walk in.
On the road again. On the road again. Christina, we're on the road again. Last time we saw you was back in California.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing over here
Freezing.
now? We're both back in our hometown of Delaware.
So cold.
It's cold as shit here. I'm like living in New York, so I'm not really surprised for this right now. We are doing another road trip. We're going to Washington, D.C. So we're gonna spend the day. We both slept late as fuck, and now it's like 10 and we're on our way down there. It's gonna take like 2 hours. We're gonna have a good time, eat some food. We're gonna see some American stuff. Hopefully we see Donald Trump.
I know, like, hey, DD.
Yo, we have to go outside
Come
the
into
White
my
House.
house.
Yeah, exactly. Have to
I
go
feel like
outside.
I would actually be like a really good person for him. Because I'm like black and like kind of conservative.
You were about to say that so naturally.
And I
I'm
feel
black
like,
conservative.
like I could be like Amorosa but totally likable. You're liberal but you're not.
Me?
Yeah, I feel like people will probably listen to you more.
I'm liberal, definitely, but I'm not off the deep end.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm
you
not
would be able
a
to like
super
talk to
leftist
people
psycho
and approach people on their mindset, but be able to drop some knowledge and have them think a little differently.
Oh yeah, or ask questions. Ask people questions about what they think, things that they think they know so well, like asking questions that challenge that worldview. This guy is up my ass.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Have you noticed that the people here, their driving is a little outrageous? And that night he had invited me to, because he's like a DJ, and so he had like booked a gig for like this like boat party on the boat, and then like him and his friends were like taking a party bus over there. He was like, I want you to come, and I was like, really?
Yeah.
I was just like, that's kind of like your world and your friends. And he was like, yeah, like bring one of your friends. Like, and his dad was like kind of be like a designated driver, and he was like, you can meet my dad. If you don't bring a friend or anybody, he was just like, I'll make sure my dad takes care of you. I was like, oh my god, like
that was after you had said that you were interested in a relationship.
Yeah, this was what I'm saying. This was the next time we met up after we had that conversation. So I was just like, okay, like we're making strides here. We're on the right path. Like I'm about to like see you in your element, you know what I mean? I'm about to meet some of your friends. Like that's like, I thought that was cool. And I got really excited. And then that was like a Saturday. I didn't hear from him the Sunday. I didn't hear from him Monday. And I texted him.
Wait, to go to the event. He invited, said all this, and then,
Right, exactly. And that event was that following weekend. So I didn't hear from him, and I texted him, and I was just like, hey, like, how was the rest of your weekend and stuff? And he was just like, it was just like real short. He didn't try to elaborate the conversation. He didn't ask me any questions about like, oh, how are you doing? Like, what have you been up to? Nothing. I was like, I'm not going to sit here and try to prolong the conversation. I can clearly see you don't want to talk.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just didn't respond. And then days passed.
Did the event pass yet?
Hold on. Thursday passed to hear from him. Friday hits, because the event was on a Saturday. Hadn't heard from him, and I'm like, wow, you really doing this, huh? So Friday, I sent him a text kind of like around 10 p.m. and I said, hey, like, good luck with your show tomorrow. Because at this point, I'm just like, well, obviously, I guess this is your way of uninviting me, because you clearly have like ignored me, all week. And he never responded.
Yeah, he's a fucking clown.
Never responded. And then Saturday hits, and then he Snapchats everything. He didn't have any snaps. And I really was obsessing. So I was like, I really hurt my feelings. And then like I saw like he popped up on Snapchat. I didn't even open it. I didn't even want to look at it because I was like, wow, it is so clear that you are alive and well. You were on your phone. You saw my text message.
Yeah.
And you just like really just didn't bother to respond. Like I really don't know what I did to you, because like last time
you think he was like drunk or high when he said all that stuff?
Yeah, because he was a fucking so he probably was cracked out and just like really hyped up and did all that because he was just hyped up.
Yeah.
So now I know that's scratched off my list. Someone who does a couple times a week, don't. Deleted his number out my phone. You're gonna come up as a number and I'm gonna go, who's this?
You haven't heard from him since.
I did. Deleted him on Instagram. I deleted him off of Snap. I don't give a what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it was weird because he still followed me, which I thought that was weird. And then he would look at my stories.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Can you unfollow me too? Don't look at
Exactly.
my shit. And then he like replied to one of my Instagram stories. Because like last time he saw me, I had orange hair. He was like, what happened to the orange? And I just never responded.
None of your goddamn business.
Yeah. And honestly, he was 33 going on 34.
Really? What
Yes. Yes.
What?
So that devastated me because I was like,
He's in the age bracket.
He's the age bracket.
Yeah. Where did you meet him from?
I met him on Instagram, but he saw me on Tinder.
It's like you talk to a guy like that, he's doing that. Versus like there's that guy that when I asked him what does he like to do and he replied, fuck really hard.
Yeah,
you know?
like, why would you say that? What is wrong with you?
Like, who wants to talk about sex with someone they don't know? That shit is very weird to me. And I had this other guy that I went out with talking about, like, he doesn't understand why girls make it seem like they don't like to talk about it, they don't like to mention it. I'll be like, because the shit is weird.
That's weird.
Talking about sex, talking
Listen,
about what you like in
yeah.
bed is weird. Talking about that with a stranger,
Exactly.
that you don't
like,
know
you
sexual
have
things
to
I like.
be appropriate too, as if you would meet that person. Like, if you were meeting that person in person, you don't go up to a girl at the bar and be like, hey, like, I want to fuck really hard. You would never say
Hey,
that
I want
to
to
a
fuck
bitch
you.
to her face.
Like, you want to come home?
Right, if you're
tonight?
trying to approach her, you would never say that. So
No.
don't do it through text.
You go and you're talking all this shit about whatever I like in bed, whatever, and then I go meet up with this guy, and he's just looking at me. I know the whole time, just thinking about how I said I like to be bent over and have my hair.
Yeah,
folded.
right. Like,
You know what I mean?
ugh.
And then, you know, he's probably gonna act like aggressively towards me.
Yeah. I don't know. It disgustes me. And that's like, remember I sent you that text when I like went back on Tinder? I literally went back for 2 hours. 2 hours and 1 minute. Okay. And I started swiping and my first message was, you look fuckable. And I just immediately deleted. Not deactivate, deleted. Because I said
Oh, wait, you deleted your Tinder page?
Deleted.
Tinder's a app though, like
But
it's just for sex. Find local
it wasn't
holes.
though.
Find local holes.
When I started using it, I told you, like, and actually till this day, I still can say that the people I met off the Tinder are the people I've dated the longest.
Can I just ask one question? Why are you wearing those clothes?
They're children's clothes.
Yo, I got them like in the car with O.J. Simpson right now.
Liz, I'm freezing.
Are you
Cold
really?
in here.
Remember, I told you the one guy who went to a restaurant / bar that was too nice for a first date. I feel like you shouldn't be spending like
No.
$70.
No.
Like that's just like that's too much for me. He wanted to go for a walk, like a nice romantic walk on the water, which would have been fine with any other guy, but I wasn't interested in him.
yeah,
So it was
so
just
it's
kind of like. So we were walking by the water and like we're looking out at like the New Jersey Hoboken or whatever, and he's like on my shoulder talking to me, like I don't know if he's trying to get closer to my face because he wanted to kiss me or something.
Probably.
Well, that's what the vibe was, but I kept like staring straight off, like giving him my shoulder. It was just like
Friend zoning him.
yeah, but it was just like I didn't feel chemistry. Gosh, I just have such a low tolerance for this malarkey now.
I know, that's why I just like, I try to believe them when they talk, but now I just don't. And they be like, believe me, and I'm like, okay. And then
You can though. You do have to be a little detached, I think. Do you have any like horrible, super horrible online dating story?
well, you know my horrible one. Okay.
All of them?
Huh?
All of them?
I go on this one date that was an epic fail. This guy looked nothing like his profile picture.
I'm so lucky I haven't experienced that yet, but I would be so tight.
You know what? Girls get judged on like, oh, their weight, you know, or body type a lot by guys.
There's no excuse for catfishing.
And girls judge guys on like their height and stuff. But now I realize height is really important. Height makes or break whether this is going to work or not. If you are really that little, you have an obligation to say it. Just like if someone is really, really big, you have an obligation to not just put your face
if
up.
a female,
You see-
oh yeah,
you see
yeah,
what I'm
oh yeah,
saying?
yeah.
It's like
If a woman is like 5'11",
Yeah.
you disclose that.
You- And this guy was super short. And then first of all, he wore a gray t-shirt, like a gray Hanes t-shirt. Not even like a nice V-neck or crew-neck, but a gray Hanes t-shirt out of a package. Light colored wash, like dad jeans. And sneakers.
What kind? Were they like cross trainers? Like those sneakers?
And like I picked a place like where to go because he like met me in my area and we went to Lock and Key. Remember that little bar?
Yeah.
There was no chemistry.
Did he come from work?
I don't know where this motherfucker came from, and I don't even care because you didn't look like your picture, dude. And you were way shorter than you led on to believe.
Did you ever see those people who like on there look different in like all their pictures? I'm like,
yeah, I don't.
What the hell?
I never even bother with those.
I'm like, how do you look like four different people?
I'm not even trying to go on a date and figure out which one you look like. I know. Or people who you can't tell, like their profile picture, every picture is with other people.
Yeah.
So you can't really tell who.
Or like it's with other people and you're like, damn, I hope it's that one.
Yeah, I hope it's that one.
And then when you see it's them, it's like, come on.
You know.
I don't know if they think like standing next to good looking people makes them look cooler, but it makes you look more ugly. If you stand,
it makes you look more ugly. It's actually
next,
proven that it makes you look more ugly.
The worst date, well, definitely the one with the racist guy was pretty bad. Going out with the hotep, that was a mess. Yes, the worst date. Absolutely. Can you guess?
Yes.
What?
The Hispanic.
Spanish. He actually isn't Hispanic. He's Spanish. Like he's a Spaniard. Like he's half
he is. It's fucking crazy.
Spanish and half Italian. Well, anyway, he messaged me or something, and he was just like telling me how amazing I look and that he would really like to take me out or whatever. I was like texting him back and forth because he had like cute face, but his page was private and I didn't want to follow him because I was bougie. I don't like following people with private pages, especially if I don't know your ass. Why do we need to follow each other? Like, we don't even know each other. We're probably not gonna work out and then I'm gonna be following your ass. Like,
yeah, see, that's why I said,
you know what I mean?
I'm not doing that no more.
Yeah. This was actually super shallow of me, but this is when I was skinny and I was conceited. And I was like, actually I wasn't conceited, but like this is when I was just, you know, about the streets. I had a sense that he was like kind of overweight and he was like only taking like headshots or whatever, and me and Khalil had kind of like judged that he was an undercover fatty, basically. Right. Lost interest and just didn't want to talk to him.
Damn.
So I mean,
he was packing a few extra pounds.
No, he didn't look like a few extra pounds. He looked like he was packing a lot of pounds. Okay. Like, and I just wasn't attracted. You know, I like skinny guys.
Yeah,
like,
you do. You're right.
So, so he just hit me up randomly again. And he was just like, I would really like to take you out. And at this time, I had broken up with my boyfriend. So I was like, oh, definitely need to go on a date for sure right now. He was like a teacher. So he had like some like retreat or something that they were doing with the students. And I was just like, I'll come meet you. And I was like, that's far from me. But I was like, whatever, fuck it. Like, I'm not doing anything else. Like, might as well just go and try and get this, not relationship, but try and get this show on the road. You know what I mean? Like, I had got my nails done. So I had like gorgeous tips. I had my rings. I had got all these rings, so I had like all these rings on. My hair was done. Makeup was done.
I know you sent me a picture. You look good.
He was like, listen, I'm really tired, but if you want to come, we can just go somewhere here in my neighborhood, whatever. I'm like, all right, fine. So I go visit him, right? Walk over. He's dressed like he said he just came from camp or whatever, like in like basketball shorts and a t-shirt. But I was just like, all right, whatever. It was just fucking weird. Like, the chemistry was just off. He was partially telling me about myself, like, most of the whole date. Like, he was just being very argumentative, I guess you would say. Like, just basically not being easygoing. Like, acting like I was, I don't know, thirsty or something like that. When there were several times when he said that, like, he doesn't know if we should hang out or whatever. And I was just like, okay. And then he would message me back, like, oh, I really want to go out with you and shit like that. It was just weird. Like really fucking weird. Ordinarily, I wouldn't put up with something like that, but I hadn't been dating in like a long ass time.
I know, yeah.
For me, I was just like, all right, I remember the game is ugly, so I'm like, you just gotta put up with shit. Just don't take it personally, basically.
Right.
We end up walking around and like he's just like talking mad shit to me. I don't know where we're going. It got to a point where I had stopped him and I was just like, is everything okay? Like, what's wrong with you? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you've been telling me about myself like this whole time. You're not being friendly. You're not being nice. You're seeming like you don't want to hang out or whatever. He just blurted out. He was like, well, I'm not interested, to be honest with you.
Man, that is crazy.
And I was just like very shocked.
Yeah,
because I'm
especially like someone be like so point blank about it.
Yeah, and we were just like in the street and all right, well, I'm gonna go home. And he's like, all right, I'll walk you to the train. I was like, no. I was like, no, I can walk myself. He's like, no, I'll walk you. I was like, no, stop. Like,
yeah,
I will go to the train. So I just walked away and I was just like, this is just so fucking weird. And so I get like a block away. He runs after me. And he like stops me on the corner. He's like, listen, I'm sorry, right? I'm tired. You seem like you were kind of mean or something online or some shit like that. Or I do want to get to know you and hang out with you. I was just like, are you serious right now? I'm like, just be cool. Like, why are you trying to act like a tough guy? You know what I mean? We start walking around again. And it's just like, there's nothing really to do. He doesn't really drink. I think he said something like, we should just hang out another time or something like that. And I was just like, all right, I turned to leave again and I start going home and he's texts me. He's like, I really wish we could have hung out more or whatever.
What is wrong with you?
And I actually don't understand.
Tell me you're not interested. Then you're like, oh, maybe we should just hang out another time. And then
texting me like, he's like, oh, I wish you could have stayed because he kept trying to get me to go into his house. And I was like, no, I'm not going to your house. Oh, we're in DC. Woohoo! We're here now.
I feel like we're like in Target zone.
What do you mean? Oh, like, Target Central?
Like,
no, man, New York.
Mad at America. Boom!
No, that's New York right now, man. You can get more people that way. I just went back to his house. He was standing there on the corner when I walked back. I know, this is stupid, the fact that I just did that. He's like, let's start over. And then he like shakes my hand and he like steals a kiss. So I go into his house. I'm sitting there feeling a little bit uncomfortable, but he goes and he has to take a shower and then he wants to order food. He orders the food. I sit and eat the food, which was just like a salad, it was like an octopus salad or something. And he's like eating hummus and bread and like a sandwich and like some crazy shit. Then he goes and lays down in his bed. He's like, I'm tired. And I'm just like standing there and he's like, come lay down next to me. And I'm like, no. He's like, I'm not gonna fuck you or anything like that. And I'm just like,
what?
In my head, I'm like, of course you're not gonna fuck me. Like what do you yo, these dudes is really yo, hold on, I gotta show this. Yo, we're in DC, sitting outside the liquor store.
There's no way.
That shit is crazy.
There's no way.
That was so weird.
I've never seen someone's pants
that was
low.
real life, like actually chilling outside the liquor store. Like it's cold. It's like 20 degrees outside.
Right, why are you chilling outside the liquor store?
So I told him, all right, so I'm gonna go home now because he's laying in bed. I'm standing there. I'm not gonna get into bed. I basically just walk out, leave. Then he texts me later and he's like, you are not a nice person. He's like, I don't ever want to see you again. Please delete my number. Whatever. And I was just like, I'm not gonna respond to him. Then he texted me back afterward. Plus, you're really big. Who
does that?
He's like, you're really big. He said, you're really big. I didn't even recognize you at first. That pissed me off. The entire time I was there, he was telling me like how pretty I am, how good I look. And then he starts talking more shit, and I'm like, should I turn around and see if you're chasing me down the street again? He had texted me earlier like, oh, I like you, I want to get to know you, whatever, like when I had left at first. And so I took screen caps of what he was saying and I sent it to him like 10 times. Look at what you're telling me, like you like me, you're chasing me down the street.
Yeah.
He's like, you're so big, like you can't walk straight, da-da-da-da. I'm like, yo, you're fucking fat yourself. Wow. And that was the whole thing. He was overweight himself. So yeah, that was the worst. That was the worst day ever.
That's like, oh my.
Then it gets even better because what happened a week or two later, he found me on Facebook somehow. He sought me out on Facebook. He's like, hey, how are you?
You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, and he sent me like a gif of like a cute bear. I was like, yo, what's wrong with you? And he's like, a lot of things. And I'm like, you're crazy. And he says like, I was just messaging you to say hi. And I'm like, yo, you really need some help.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. And he's like, you're fat. And I just like blocked him right away. What's wrong with these guys out here? Like,
I really don't know.
It's just like,
I feel like a lot of their behavior comes from insecurity. Girls are the only ones who suffer from insecurity.
And it's like now you have to like lower your standards all the time. You gotta deal with cheating, gotta deal with having a shitty job, gotta deal with having no passion.
Right.
Gotta deal with emotional detachment.
I remember homeboy was saying something like, we were watching a movie and he was like, oh, I hate when girls say that. Girls always tell me that I have commitment issues. Maybe like they're just not on my level. Maybe they're just not cool enough. And I was like, oh, really? And I'm like, now I think about it, I was like, was that like a subliminal hint to me that you think I'm just like not on your level or some shit? And I'm just thinking like,
you know,
no,
why?
motherfucker, maybe you're not on my level. Maybe I'm actually like, as Kodak Black would say, I'm out of your fucking league, bitch. It's not those girls, it's fucking you.
Yeah.
You're a fucking weirdo.
The most you'll ever get out of someone is 80%, and it's really rare to find that. So people are just like always looking like the next thing.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't, that's not how it works. What basically
it really comes down to
love is love and relationship is that you have to
and
accept
you have to grow
someone
it from there.
you have to accept someone for how they are to a reasonable extent. Obviously don't put up with abuse or
you
anything.
take it or leave it, you know.
We are down in DC now, so no more stories. Now about the show. Beautiful